Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. It is all snowy and kind of blizzardy out. It's the perfect day to cover a range of interesting Magic subjects. I got a little news blurb, but you don't get to see. You got to wait for me to tell you, okay? You don't get to read it yourself. I can't afford a full-size sheet of paper like Rudy because he's the big baller over there. So I've got my tiny little notepad, but it's all we need for a good time. So we're going to start out talking about what? Arena coming to mobile in 2020. Now, this is an interesting scenario because this isn't something that was just tossed out by like a developer. You know, when we get like Arena updates and they say, oh, here's what we're going to be working on, here's what we're doing, all this kind of thing. No, this was a statement made by like the CEO, who's basically like, Arena's going to be coming to mobile in 2020. Now, apparently more details are going to be given out at a toy fair. And honestly, I feel like this is something we have to take with a grain of salt to a degree. Because you picture yourself going, oh yeah, I'm playing Arena on my little phone. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Take that. Get lightning bolt. Oh, get shocked. Sorry, got to do it for the kids today. Get shocked, buddy. I'm gonna get you with my dragon. Well, there's a couple of issues that I have in terms of getting too excited about that. First of all, how many phones are going to be able to handle Arena without like super overheating? And the Arena programmers, it's not like these guys are out there building rockets for NASA or anything like that, right? I mean, they're competent enough, but Arena still has enough bugs and honestly hasn't even come to Mac yet. Like, let's be real. They haven't put Arena on Mac, although on the other hand, you can see how focusing on mobile might be more profitable than focusing on bringing something to the Mac, because the Mac, I mean, how many Mac users are there overall? What are they? Maybe like 5-10% of the Arena players, Magic players out there. Mac tends to be for people who have, well, I don't know, like $1,000 to spend on a monitor stand. So maybe it's like, you got the whole, like, are there enough of them? But at the same time, they're willing to spend a bunch of money, good Arena customers. But also what you need to bear in mind is the term like comes to mobile can be deceiving, right? It could just be that it's going to show up on tablets as opposed to phones. So if you don't use tablets, the dream of just like being on the subway or sitting on the can or whatever it is you're doing and just playing Arena, it might already just be over. You might as well give up on that dream to a degree. And also, the fact is this is a statement that's made, it seems like, in a way to, like, Hasbro's CEO, when they come out and make statements, it's going to be with an eye on like, how is this going to affect our stock prices? How is this going to build confidence in the company? So coming out and declaring that one of your biggest current money makers from Magic, which is Magic Arena, it is a big property right now they have. It is in growth and it's bringing in money. Like, Wizards of the Coast is making some bank off of Arena. So being able to come out to the investing public and be like, hey, we're going to go ahead and get this brought onto mobile. It's not the same as the developer saying they have it sorted out. So the CEO can be like, yo, this is what we're going to do. And all that means is there's going to be a bunch of pressure on the developers. Does that mean we're going to get a working version of Arena you can play on your cell phone? Who knows? But I'm hoping so. I would be all right with that. I would not complain if that was the case. But I'm looking at it a little bit of a grain of salt. You know, I feel a little bit bad for the Arena developers now. If they didn't know that was going to get announced and that just gets announced and like, oh Lord, oh my God, we've got to make this work on mobile now. You don't really have a choice, right? Because in this situation, I mean, delaying it's one thing, but if they can't make it happen, that's not really going to look good to investors and stuff. So that's something they're going to prioritize, I imagine. Next up is the MTG World Championship. Now, this is an umbrella with a number of things that are going on. And I have to say, Wizards has actually done a pretty good job of hyping this up and coming with a multi-pronged approach to make this interesting. So this weekend, basically starting tomorrow, is the World Championship, big style event in Honolulu. So you get to go to Hawaii, have a good time. There are people competing with the best of the best, right? So that's where you're going to get high-level plays and fewer mistakes, because honestly, mistakes are where a lot of games are won, where it's like you're used to capitalizing on your opponent's mistakes. And so part of becoming a really good pro player is absolutely minimizing the number of mistakes you make while capitalizing on the tiniest little mistakes that your opponent makes. There's a lot tighter and higher level play, which is cool if that's what you like to watch. Arena makes it definitely a lot more watchable than before with the whole paper setup. So there's a number of things that they're doing right now that I think are pretty cool. I'm personally not interested in the World Championship event itself. Like, in terms of watching the gameplay, I don't really care, but I do like what they're doing in terms of Arena. They have a World Championship event that's going on the same time as the event itself, right? And what they've done is they've taken the competitors' decks and created Arena versions of all of them. And you'll notice there is a fair bit of overlap. There's like 4 decks with, you'll have like one of the most important cards as the front-facing card on the digital deck box, which is kind of cool. I like that you can stylize each box with the art. But anyways, you'll see that 4 of the decks have Euro, 4 of them have the First Strike Knight little pumpy 1/1 guy for your mono red coming at your face kind of decks. At least I think it's mono red. It might be a different build. In all honesty, I didn't look at the contents of all the decks. I just kind of looked at the front facing picture of the deck. So each deck is labeled with the competitor's name, and you're going to get the opportunity to play with those decks. I think this is a cool concept in terms of if you've ever wanted to try out decks that professionals play, because these are the pro level players. If you've ever wanted to try out their decks, this is a great way to just grab the different variations, test them out against each other, because you can build these decks on your own, right? But if you do that, then you're going to play against like a random field, depending on where you go, whether you're going to ranked or unranked, depending on whether you're playing in like competitive standard tournaments, all that sort of thing are going to weigh into what you face off against. But with this Arena event, everybody is going to be using these top competitors' decks. And there's at least 4 or 5, maybe 6 different decks. So you've got some variation, and I imagine there's probably some tweaks between them in terms of what each individual thinks is the best build. But it's cool because you get to try these decks, and on top of that, it rewards you for trying the decks. This event is, as far as I understand, has no cost to enter, and you can get 2 free levels up. You just play in it for as long as you want to, and your first 3 wins give you rewards as well. So the first 2 wins will get you a full experience level on your Mastery Pass in Arena, and the 3rd win will get you a World Championship sleeve back. So if you're somebody who's really into it and you like those, I don't really care that much about the commemorative sleeves. Although I suppose if I was in like the top 1,000 who got Mythic qualifier sleeves or whatever, that might seem a little cooler. The World Championship sleeves don't really do anything for me, but the experience levels that they include are a nice little catch-up bonus. It's a nice way to bring attention to the World Championship while actually making you feel involved and rewarding you for getting involved. And I like that. I think that's a smart move on their part. They're actually doing a number of things around the World Championship, like I mentioned. On the Twitter right now, if you go to Magic Esports Twitter, you can actually see the creation process, not the entire thing, obviously an abbreviated version, but you can see the creation process for the trophy that they're using. And there's multiple little molds you see them cast in. The creation of the gems that go around it, the 5 different colored gems, I was actually really impressed by it. So it's about a 3-minute video, and what I would have liked personally, then this is just me, because I know everyone's going to be different, but what I would have liked personally is instead of the background music, which wasn't really to my taste, I would have preferred if there was a little bit of discussion of the process, because we're seeing the process, but having a little bit of information about what was being, because you'll see guys in little masks mixing things up, and you just go, I don't know, what is it? Is it resin? Is it paint? Like, what's he mixing? It's cool to see the process of the different portions of the statue assembled and come together, see it from start to finish in that regard. And it is nice that they went to the effort to trim it down to a tight 3 minutes. It's actually worth watching. I totally enjoyed taking a look at it. So I thought that was cool. They're also tying in the secret layers to this World Championship weekend. So they're going to be announcing multiple secret layers. There's speculation as to what the secret layers will be. I've seen some cool ideas. On the more greedy side, we have people talking about fetch lands and things like that, which does not seem likely to me at all, because there was some promotional material talking about it, the stars aligning, and that does give it a Theros feel. I've seen other conjecture that it may be the 5 Theros gods that are going to be these 5 secret lairs, maybe with personalized shrine of Nykthoses that are all like designated to particular gods. That is a cool concept. I have no idea about the shrine part of it, but it does seem likely that with 5 secret lairs, 5 different colors, having the Theros gods or some kind of like similarly themed monocolor, because it's about devotion as well, right? Theros is about devotion. So I could easily see them being monocolored secret lairs specifically keyed to each god. Maybe the god with a couple of cards that tie into the god as well with variation artwork. I am definitely curious to see the secret lairs, even though admittedly I do have reservations about secret lairs and what they represent. There's actually a series that I'm working on about the end of the paper magic era that secret lairs ties into. So, but that's future. That's something that needs a bit of work before that'll be coming out. Anyhow, on the note of secret lairs, just so you guys know, currently over on Blogatog, which is one of Mark Rosewater's social media sort of things, I think it's Tumblr, is you have the ability to submit suggestions for what you would like to see as secret lairs. So if there's particular variations of secret lairs you want to see come into existence, head on over and let him know about that. The secret lair is it's an interesting product, I gotta say. They come up with some really cool cards, but there is also the risk you run of just kind of oversaturating things and ruining it, like has happened with a number of different products. And another note apparently is Oubliette is going to be getting a, or how do you say it? Is in French it's like oublié or something like that. I don't know. Oubliette is how I've always said it. Anyhow, that card is a popper reprint that people have wanted for a long time, and it has been confirmed that it will be coming in a future product. I was about to say project, but whatever. Project, product, whatever. Either way, you've got Oubliette coming down the pike as well. Now, I want to take a moment to let you guys know that I have a 32-pound package that I got in the mail that is full of amazing magic gear. All right, we're talking, well, you know what? Actually, I'm not going to spoil it because tonight we're going to open it in a live stream. So if you want to know what 32 pounds of magical goodness looks like, I'll show you later tonight. Okay, so feel free to come on by and check that out. I want to shout out my brand new patron, just joined today, Sid Vicious. Thank you very much for joining my Patreon. On the Patreon note, I will be bringing the Patreon end scroll back. So that will be specifically for patrons listed at the end of the video scrolling. If your Patreon information isn't up to date, let's say it's like declined or anything like that, your name won't be on the list. So you may want to go and double check if you are on my Patreon that everything's up to date, because there are some people who aren't. I don't feel like singling people out because that's rude. But regardless, make sure everything's all good. We're bringing the scroll back. Thanks for coming by, everybody. Let me know what you think about these various subjects down in the comments below. Big shout out to my patrons and channel members, and I shall see all of you people tomorrow.